Hi, Kendrick. Damn, y'all ain't hear me this whole time. It's fucked up. My bad. Thanks for letting me know. Why? Whatever. I was trying to the chat. Whatever. Hi, how you doing, Kendrick? Okay, I recently woke up. I looked for this salt for forever. It's very specific salt. Using a little bit in your water in the morning, and then warm water, which I have right here. Yeah, warm water. Perfect amount of warm because I let it sit there for forever. So I'm gonna warm some more up. I'm supposed to drink 2 cups of this warm water. Not boiling hot. Not room temp, but warm. It's good for you. You feel me? Trust me in this. So you put the salt and some lime. We don't have to get into what this says about me. Oh, I love it when you fight. I love. Oh shit! What's going on with this lemon? This one's too hard. This one's too soft. This one's perfect. Happy to see you. Thank you. I'm happy to see you too. So I got this lime. Let me put this over here. Dude, I'm literally starving, but there's a process to these things. And I got an oil pull, but I was like, let me. And then I'm a drink the water. Oil pull, drink my digestive lemonade, eat some fruit, and then eat. You don't need that much lime. Just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. Yup. Yup. Do you know why it's good when it's warm water with salt and lime? Because instead of you just peeing that shit right out, it goes straight to your nervous system, your bloodstream, and your brain. Mm. That's that shit right there. Oh, I love it when we fight. I love it when you meet. We don't have to get into what this says about me. You know what I'm saying? Bro, my cat is struggling. She just finished. She makes a huge mess every time she poops. Not doing her business out there. My homegirl's struggling. I love it when we fight. I love it when you're mean. We don't have to get into what this says about me. King Hazy, what's up? So basically, I'm starting to become a Pilates certified instructor, right? And we have to make a presentation, right? So, a presentation about special populations. And I believe, that I'm supposed to make a presentation about hip injuries. Hip, 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 hooray. And there's a couple of different hip injuries. Let me read the assignment real quick. So it says here, explain the condition, what the injury or spec population is, how Pilates helps, contraindications, indications, and prepare a class for the population using mat, reformer, and props. This flow should include all parts of class plan, including footwork. Okay, thank you. So how are you guys doing today? What it do? What's up? What's this? I love it when you fight. Just kidding. It's just a song that's stuck in my head. We don't have to get into what this says about me. And I decided to work on snapping hip syndrome. Yeah. Wow. Jesus. It's a lot of reading. I'm good. I'm good. Hi, Jing. How are you? What are the plans today besides being indoors? Okay. Way to call me out for always being at the crib. Do you guys see her? She's looking out the window. That's her. She's curious. She's so cute. It's my week of co-parenting her. Thank God. I'm not going out today unless it's to do laundry. My plans is to stay indoors and do this presentation because I have to present it on Friday. And I need to know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to practice with you guys. I'm going to teach you guys. You. Okay? Okay. Okay. So we got our special populations. Club Pilates teacher manual. And I should read professional roles and responsibilities. Scope of practice, build trust, gather information, programming, additional considerations. Then there's the science of stretching. Today we're going to learn about the science of stretching. I wish I had my cat. I miss my old cat. I miss my old cat too. He died too young. Too young, too young. You remember Morty. R.I.P. Okay, the science of stretching. Lengthen versus stretch. Agonist, antagonist, dynamic stretching, static stretching. I wonder how much of this training counts towards like being a yoga instructor. I don't know. Because I was deciding whether to be a yoga instructor or a Pilates instructor, and I chose Pilates. And I'm glad I did. It's harder. It's intense. It's a little more like science-based and spirituality-based versus yoga, but whatever. Jesus, injuries and healing, pain, effects of exercise on mental and emotional health and well-being, and then we go into spine, slings, facial populations, then spine, then hip. So I'm gonna read from page 8 to page 24, and then I'm gonna skip all the way to page 42, because that's what I'm working on. And then I can obviously learn about everything else, blah blah blah. But I gotta like delegate. you want me to be honest? I did yoga for years, and one day I dislocated my shoulder. I didn't even feel it. And it was my chiropractor that told me, listen, bro, you stretch too much, you're too flexible, you don't have muscle tight enough to hold your bones in place. You need to go lift. So then I went lift, and I was very strong, and my shoulders got better, but I was not as flexible. And then one day I saw they were offering a free Pilates class, and after doing calisthenics and getting functional strength, I went to Pilates and I realized that that gave me everything I wanted in one. It gave me functionality. It gave me balance. It gave me flexibility. It gave me strength. It gave me so many things in one. And also, I'll be honest, I looked up how many people were hiring yoga instructors and how many people were having Pilates, and a lot of more people are looking for Pilates instructors, and they pay more. I already went to college for filmmaking. I already chose a career with my heart that some days can pay me $1,300 a day, and other days will pay me $725 an hour, and other days will scam me out of my money. I already chose college for that, which is something that most people don't do. So now I'm getting a certification that will bring in the bills while pursuing YouTube, which is also something that will pay bills eventually, but also a passion of mine. And also I'm passionate about Pilates, because after that first class I fell in love. I knew I wanted to be a Pilates instructor immediately. Pilates is the shit, bro. You guys want to learn a little bit about Pilates? Now let me lock in. We're going to learn about special populations. Everybody has a problem. Okay, but first, let me look through my notes. Life touch. I'm organizing my notes. Why don't I get notifications when you guys send something on the... Oh, fuck me. The chat went away because there's the cat. Yeah, why am I not centered? You're the birdie. We don't have to get into what this says about me. Sorry, chat. Not even straight. Okay. Excuse me. I think you should get 2 cats. We can't do that. It's not my house. Okay, Cadillac. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make a new folder on my notes called Pilates, because I take notes on my phone a lot. Homework, second time. This is homework I did. To do. Don't need to do marketing material. Present and teach your communication. Present materials and write a flow. Does it require surgery? Shows an image. Well, who guys say, what does it occur? Does it require surgery? How does Pilates help these people? Could it help us preventative measure? Osteoporosis. I'm doing hips. Okay, yeah. As my book and research, credible sources. Okay, 50 minutes of teaching, 9 to 10 exercises, repeat 4 to 8 times per variation. 5-minute footwork, 5-minute breathing, 5-minute abs. Okay. We don't have to get into what they say about me. Even the greatest people get treated like shit. But yeah, my brother wants to get a second cat, but the thing is, like, where my brother lives, he's not allowed to even have one. And when the owner is gonna go do something at the house, my brother leaves the cat here, and my mom doesn't want to deal with. My mother doesn't want to deal with 2 cats. It's fucked up. But when the cat is over there, Pilates. Pilates, me lattes. Pilates. I'm organizing my notes because I take notes here. And I take notes on this like this notebook, and I also take notes in the workbook. This is the first weekend I didn't have my workbook, and I also take notes in this other notebook. I gotta get all my notes together. Flex. Things I want. Dyson, Meta glasses. Okay. Okay. Hey, I got insurance. That's something I did. And I became monetized. Huh. Wow. Wow. I love looking at notes that I wrote literally less than a month and a half ago and seeing how I already accomplished stuff. Wow. Cool. Now let's go to my Pilates folder. Let me serve my second cup. I have to drink 2 cups with salt. Yeah, it's still warm. Salt and lime. Technically, I'm only supposed to put salt in the first cup. So I'll just do that. Yeah, let me, not technically, it's accurately. Let me listen to what I'm supposed to do. A lot of little salt. My bipolar be like. Yeah, because dude, I gotta do shit right. Like, I can't sit here, you know, and complain that yesterday I got off work and I had a great day at work. I love my new job. I love my new job. I love my new job. It pays better than my older job, and it has great benefits, and I can probably relocate. Hello?
Hi, Idsonil. Do you go by
You can call me Itzo. Oh. Oh, yeah, I did get. I didn't know who I was talking to, but I. Mm. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. Yes, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. Let me count. Guys. Okay, so we got un mes, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Vacaciones. Vacaciones. My new job just told me that if I do a good job, after 6 months I can relocate, and the location that I wanna go to, they say they're always looking for people anyway. So I just gotta do my job good. Period. Period. Oh, period. Who? Okay, hold up. Money, money, money. I'm gonna make money. Money, money, money. I'm gonna make money. Money, money, money. I'm gonna make money. Who? Okay. I drank my water. Next things next. How you guys doing? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Oh, shit. I don't know why I was stressing. And tonight, I'm definitely gonna go to sleep. Ah! Tonight, I'm definitely gonna go to sleep early. And tonight, I'm definitely gonna finish this assignment. Today. Fuck. Friday. Gosh, I don't know when I'm gonna do laundry. Maybe I will do laundry today. How you guys doing? Okay, so I'm making a concoction. I got my vitamin E here. That I'm gonna mix with my coconut oil. Virgin, organic. Because it's a concoction I make. I love it when you fight. I love it when you mean. You don't have to get into what you say about me. Okay. This is the concoction that I use to not get ingrown hairs. Woo, I hate the smell. It literally just made me nauseous. But yeah, I just gotta get it in there. Because it's not melting. It's too cold the weather for it to melt. Get in there. And also, I'm supposed to oil pull. You know what oil pulling is? When you go like that with olive oil. With this oil for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna have to be quiet for 15 minutes. Sorry about that, chat. Let's do it. 15 minutes. Fuck. I haven't done this in a minute. About that much. We have to smell first. Mm. Mm.
tickets in the summer. Like what? Going to Mykonos? Ew, do I look like boys from our school who are desperate to impress middle class bitches? Aren't those girls just escorts? I don't know, they both dress the same and think that if a man is wearing a Rolex, he's rich. So, what are your plans? My friends and I found this place. It's called a hostel. Ew, is it like another private club? No, it's like a hotel, but you share it with strangers. And listen, there are shared bathrooms, but you have to have a vision to understand what I'm going for. You judge those middle class bitches who cosplay us, and you're cosplaying them. Do not compare me to them. I'm doing this with an honorable goal to get a different perspective of life and to appreciate what I have even more. Actually, they have a more honorable goal to get pregnant from a rich man so their child has a chance for a better future. You know that 99% of kids like this don't even go to a private school. Yeah, but everybody believes they will end up in the 1%, and then their children will go to hostels to see how the regulars live. Anyways, are you in? What the fuck? Obviously not. I'll be interning at Coldwell all summer. Oh, well, say shalom to them, dude. I took the sickest in the summer. Like what? Going to Mykonos? Ew, do I look like boys from our school who are desperate to impress middle class bitches? Aren't those girls just escorts? I don't know, they both dress the same and think.
Alright guys, now I can speak. I was oil pulling and also making a conjunction for after I shower. This is what you wear wherever you shave to not get ingrown hairs. Vitamin E with coconut oil. I've been bought this, I've been had this, and I've only been wearing the vitamin E, and it's not enough. I gotta wear them both together. And I'm just getting my shit together again. I'm getting my shit together again for the next 2 months. It takes 21 days to become a habit, to build a habit, but for the next 2 months, I am gonna be doing the shit that I was doing before. I don't know, life got in the way. I got stressed out. I dated a loser. I don't know. The list goes on. Let me put this in my room. Hey puppy. Uy, 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 qué bonita eres. Qué bonita eres. Everybody say hi to the kitty cat. The kitty cat having the time of her life. Oh, that girl. She's a dancing queen. You can dance. You can dance. Having the time of your life. Oh, that girl. She is the dancing queen. Not gonna lie, my morning routine is kind of anal, kind of high maintenance, and that's why I couldn't keep up with it. Like, I gotta wake up, drink 2 glasses of warm water with specific type of salt and lime. Chuck them bitches. Then I gotta oil pull for 15 minutes. Hate the taste and texture of the oil. Oh, it is so good for your teeth. And then I always scrunch my face since I was a kid, and I'm seeing this show up, and I'm trying to train my body to be relaxed. Because I'm no longer as stressed as I was when I was a kid. So why do I gotta pay for it? My mom used to always tell me, don't scrunch your face because you're gonna have arrugas. And I did it on purpose just to spite her. And then the only one that's suffering is me. So I got this kinesthetic tape. I don't know what it's called, okay? I'm probably not saying it right. But I'm gonna start wearing it again because, like, what? It's not gonna work if it's just sitting there. There's this lady from Spain that teaches people how to use this to combat, to combat I don't know if this is taking off. Whatever, bro. Okay. So what's up with you guys? I think I'm supposed to put it here and then pull it forward. Push it down. Supposedly. It sounds very contradicting, but that's what the YouTube video said. Put it up here. Pull it back. I look like an angry bird. To be honest, I'm doing it the opposite way because that's what feels right. My God, it doesn't even feel right. Okay, hold up. Hey puppy, what you doing on the table? You're not allowed here. La 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 la, look at the booty, look at the booty, look at the booty, ooh. Yeah, if my mom saw my live stream, she would be mad. You gotta get down, puppy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, puppy. I'm sorry. She's. This guy did. Alelo, lelo, lelo, lie. What the fuck? The fridge keeps staying open for, bro. I want this. No, excuse me. So I'm gonna eat this. I got some eggs. Let me heat them up in some water. What the hell? Oh, I burned this egg. Of course I did. Rear, high. These are leftover things. And I'm gonna eat them. I might eat some ramen too. So yeah, wear these as well. Remind myself to not scrunch my face and relax. And then we got this digestion lemonade, supposed detox and deep bloat, mixed with water. So let's drink some more water for the day before we start eating. Every time my mom buys me some cool shit like this, I don't finish it because I'm like scared it's gonna run out. Like, girl, oh my fuck. That's a lot. I wonder if it expired already. Like, what the fuck? Letting shit expire because I'm scared of running out of it is the stupidest shit ever. That's me though. This just has coconut oil in it. Mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. It looks like it is expired because it wasn't this color before. It's vegan, got chicory root, dandelion. Best is used by August 11, 2025. Yeah, this is expired. Because I'm a fucking genius. Gosh. You could tell by the color of it that it's expired. Whatever. Hey, puppy. My head. I love it when we fight. I love it when you mean. We don't have to get into what this says about me. Put back in a room room. When my back hurts due to like horrible sleeping habits. I'm not getting any sleep at all. Hey puppy. I'm going to take painkiller. I finally found them. Do these expire? Like, what the fuck? 127. Okay, good. How much is this? 500 each? I'll take one. My back is killing me. Starving, I am fucking starving. Hey puppy dubby lovey. Hey puppy dubby lovey, dubby 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 lovey. Oh. I wanna go to bed, bro. Being sober is not for the weak. No, get down. Bájate. No te subas. Hey, what's up? What it do? She be following me. She be chasing me. She be chasing me down. She be chasing me down. Okay, let me get a plate. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, that egg is heating up. I got ñame and one plantain. And I'm gonna put some salt on that hoe, you know, the vibes. Some olive oil. It's a garlic powder. Yeah, the month of April, I'm not starving myself. I'm not get. Well, so far I've been struggling with this other one that I want to mention, but no sleep deprivation, and no starvation, no sleep deprivation. I'm gonna try to get a psychologist to get medicated, cause I need some sort of help. I need some sort of help. Okay. How y'all doing though? Am I good? Got an egg and another egg. 2 eggs. My back is broken, chat. My back is freaking broken. I hope this food will put me to sleep. I know that I should be working on homework, but and tomorrow I work my 2 jobs. I gotta wake up at the crack of dawn. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm done. I'm cooked. I'm more cooked than these eggs, chat. Now these eggs exploding on me. Okay, salt for the eggies. And lime for the eggies. Yes, I put lime on my eggs. Problem. So good. Mm. Mm. Genuinely cold because I wanna be. Because what do you mean? I love how all my live streams have been saying learning about Pilates and I never get around to it. That is what counts, ain't it? Sad hair. Trading cards? What do you mean? Like Pokemon? I don't collect any cards, so I don't know why I'm asking for details. I used to collect Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, but not anymore. Do you? Oh, that's what's up. What's your favorite card? Shall I look it up? I will look it up. I'm sad. My body is sad because I've been abusing it. I'm also eating like I've never been fed. I mean, it's 1 p.m. This is not the time to have breakfast. I need to do better. Alright, take your time. Kitty! Poppy, Poppy in the chat. Poppy, Poppy, Poppy in the chat. Te amo. Te amo. Bro, y'all see this? Y'all see this individual? Look at her little head. Oh, never mind. We're this way. You wanna eat them freaking eggs? Huh? ¿Qué tú haces allí? Ooh. You wanna be a big girl? You can stay in the chair, but you can't come in the table. No. You're beautiful. I'll make some tea. I'll make a concoction. of tea. What kind of presentation are you doing? I will tell you right now. I'm on my last bite, and we will hop right into it until I feel sleepy. Because I do need to nap before 4 p.m. when everybody gets home and it's loud as fuck. I only have 4 hours of sleep, and I worked out a lot yesterday. And like, part of recovery is not just eating before and after the gym; it's sleeping. And I worked out for 2 hours. Black Rose Dragon. Let me look it up. Black Rose Dragon. It's beautiful. Shit. That would be my favorite too. Kitty. Kitty, you're back. You're back. Are you sleeping there? You look like a turkey, turkey, turkey. You look like a turkey, turkey, turkey. Yeah. Oh. Oh shit, I just smacked. We have favorite yoga card? I can't think of one on the top of my head. I think that the one that you said was my favorite because I was gonna say my favorite growing up was a dragon. Is there more dragons? Growing up, I love dragons. I was like, dinosaur? Dragons. I like a tiger too. Sorry, chat. Blue eyes, white dragon is a purpler one. I don't know. What's the name of that card? Gotta get all the olive oil in this plate. I think that was enough food for now. Might eat some fruit. I was supposed to eat fruit before I ate this, but I was just starving. I'll eat some fruit. It's like a snack or something. Okay, so I'm studying to be a Pilates instructor as we speak. And bro, tell me why if I'm ever feeling insomniac, all I have to do is read. But not just any book. All I have to do is read a homework. Hey, put me right to sleep, bro. Right to sleep. Oh, puppy. Oh, puppy. My back hurts too much for this metal ass background. Okay. Now we can get into it. Okay. Hey Derek, you came in right in time. Right on time, right on time, right on time. This goddamn dialect, man. Go over there. Go away. Okay. I'm here because if I read this in my bed, I will fall asleep. Okay. I should have brought a fucking pencil. But you know what? No, we're gonna focus on just reading and see what I actually retain. And then I'm being lazy. I just don't want to get up and get a fucking pencil. So basically, I have to make a presentation on Friday in my Pilates class about some sort of hip problem. And I chose to study snapping hip syndrome because I have a friend who told me they have their hip snaps and they asked me what they can do to help with that. So instead of starting with anything else, I'm gonna go right into that so I can kill two birds with one stone. Okay, so let's start with professional roles and responsibilities. As a Pilates instructor, your job is to help your clients work with their range and limits. I need to learn my own limits, honestly. Thank you. Remember that you are not a physical therapist or doctor in this setting, so do not diagnose an issue or prescribe a rehabilitation program. Okay? Our scope of practice is limited to exercise, strengthening, stretching, and moving. Do not give medical advice. If your client has medical questions, refer them to the appropriate medical professional. In addition to working with our scope of practice, as outlined below, Pilates instructors working with injured clients or special population clients must develop credibility and trust in group and private training sections. Okay? I just gotta give them workouts that are within their range, but not tell them, oh, you have this injury, you have that injury. No. Come on, doctor, let me know what injury you got. Even if I know what injury they got, I'm not allowed to say anything for liability purposes. Got it. Cool. It feels kind of annoying not being able to tell somebody, yo, your fucking shoulder is dislocated. I know, because I dislocated mine 3 times. And the first time I didn't even feel it. But I'm telling you, girly, get that checked. All we can say is, you should go to a doctor and get that checked. Oh my God. Like, what if they ask me off the clock? No. Okay, scope of practice from the National Pilates Certification Program, NCPT. The following are within the scope of practice of a Pilates instructor. Design Pilates exercise programs according to an individual's needs. Cool. Recognize conditions that would prevent a client from safely participating in a Pilates exercise program. Coach, provide general information and direct clients to seek medical attention as necessary. General information. Receive exercise guidelines and clearance from medical practitioners when appropriate to ensure client safety. Document client's progress and cooperate with referring medical practitioners when applicable. Request permission to touch clients and use appropriate touch to facilitate movement, position the client to prevent injury and prevent injury. The following are beyond the scope of practice of a Pilates instructor. Diagnose a client with any medical, mental, or physical condition. We can't give him a diagnosis. Teach Pilates to a client with a medical condition beyond your knowledge. Oh, if I haven't learned about that condition, I cannot teach them. Interesting. Recommend nutritional advice, products or supplements. I cannot recommend nutritional advice, products or supplements. Damn. The moment I become certified as Pilates, I can't recommend anymore. I've been recommending you guys nutritional advice for forever. I'm gonna ask if this is only for when I'm in practice or in general in life. Okay. Prescribe, claim, or treat, rehabilitate, cure, or heal an injury or disease. I can prescribe or claim to treat, rehabilitate, cure, or heal an injury or disease. So even though I can do that, because Pilates rehabilitates diseases, we're not allowed to say we can. Because at the end of the day, it's up to the person and what they're doing in their own time. They could easily like sue you, be like, this didn't help. Well, girly, you only tried it once a month, every 3 months. Of course, you're not gonna see results. Oh, we're girly, you went home and did extra stuff that injured you. You know what I'm saying? I guess. We cannot offer psychological counseling. Well, what if I get a psychologist degree as well? Can I give psychology advice outside of the Pilates studio? And then offer services beyond the limits of your credentials. Okay, that one makes sense. They all make sense. I'm just questioning some stuff. Okay, build trust. Here are a few methods to build trust with your clients. Confidentiality is a must. Let your client know that their medical history and limitations are between you, your client, and the appropriate medical professionals. As a general rule, always ask clients individually if there are any injuries or conditions you need to know about. With an injured or post-rehab client, check in with them often to see if anything has changed in their bodies. Okay? So as they come into class, I pull to say, "How many injuries I should know about? You have any injuries I should know about?" Always have an open line of communication with the client and let him or her know that they can always come to you with questions or concerns. Excuse me. Excuse me. Allergies. Who doesn't love allergies? Putting my phone on sleep mode. I'm gonna read all the pages necessary about this assignment. This now. Okay, remind your client that they should tell you immediately if anything hurts during an exercise so you can stop or offer to modify it. Thank you. Determine if there are any special props or modifications you can set clients up with before class. Always encourage clients to honor their bodies and work within their comfort zone. Encourage postural changes and appropriate and efficient movement patterns to translate into everyday life and functional activities. Ask permission for tactile cues. Nice. Gather information. Gosh, dang it. See, I just realized that I can clean my nose without scrunching my face. I scrunch my face for everything. This is what this is here for, to remind me to chill. Gather information. Just have to get up for the VIX. I might as well get up for the for the pencil to ask questions when we go to class and go over there. Questions. We don't have to get into what that says about me. I think I'm just gonna buy this book. Like, I'm gonna be a Pilates instructor, and I should buy the fucking book. No, this other book. Okay. Gather information. While building trust is important, gathering important information about injuries, surgeries, and limitations is necessary for client intake. If you have a new client who notifies you of this information, please do the following. Work with a medical team as necessary, physical therapists, MDs, DOs, etc. Obtain clearance from a member of a medical team when necessary or appropriate. Pushing your client too far, too fast will damage your credibility and possibly re-injure your client. Ooh. That's important. Don't want to injure someone. Ask about the severity of injuries. Is it acute, chronic? How does it impact their daily lives? What is their pain level overall? What is their pain level right now? If your client is post-surgery, ask questions regarding the details of the surgery, especially precautions, what you can slowly proceed with from the beginning level if non-painful, and contradictions, what you should not do. What has their medical doctor or physical therapist told them about their recovery? Very important. Ask what makes the condition worse, including particular movements or activities. Ask if there is anything that makes the condition better. Keep in mind that Pilates instructors should strive to facilitate better movement, strength, flexibility, dynamic stabilization, and mobility, while being cautious not to cause further injury. Use a studio-specific client intake form for gathering this information. Save the intake form and any doctor's clearance documents to your client's files for reference. Remember to keep client information private. The answers above should guide you as you program the exercise level, intensity, positions, movements to incorporate, try/avoid, and whether or not to use tactile cues. Programming. When designing an exercise program for your individual clients or group classes, you should include the following sections. Warm-up. A well-designed warm-up is essential for any exercise program. It increases blood flow, muscle temperature, and core temperature, preparing the body for the exercises that follow. Allows time for your client to focus on the 6 fundamental Pilates concepts: breath, center, control, concentration, flow, and precision. Reformer warm-up usually includes breathing, footwork, supine hands in straps, and spinal mobility exercises like pelvic rocks and articulating bridges. Mat warm-up could include exercises like pelvic rocks, shit lift, ab preps, knee folds, toe taps, knee circles, and more. Okay. Spine corrector warm-up could include scapular isolations, We haven't studied that yet. Roll down for spinal articulation. And breathing front or side. Warm up is the first thing. Then strengthening individual body parts. Movements of the upper body, lower body, side body, and core. Upper body examples are chest expansion for the back body, hug a tree for the front body, abduction slash adduction for the side body, lower body examples are reformer footwork, feet in straps, scooter or side splits, springboard feet in straps, and squats, standing footwork. Mat single leg extension in prone for the back body, and side lying leg variations for the side body. Core examples are chest lift, hundreds, oblique twist, and spine twist. Include all spinal movements in this section: flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and rotation. It's a lot of information. Don't get overwhelmed, so you got this. Plank and prone exercises. Strengthening. Quadruped variations. Mat plank variations. Reformer long stretch series. Prone variations are those that work the erector spinae against gravity and include mat variations such as swimming and swan. Reformer variations such as pulling straps, as well as chair and spine corrector variations for both. A well-designed class includes both plank. Okay. A well-designed class includes both plank and prone variations. This is gonna help me create my class for special populations. Functional full body movements. So we do the warm up, then individual body parts, upper body, lower body, core, and do all the spinal stuff: flexion, extension, lateral flexion, rotation. Then we do plank and prone exercises, and then we do functional full body movements. Progress components. Hi Lenny, how you doing? I'm studying. Functional full body movements. Progress components of the exercises you have taught. Adding choreography and combined movement patterns for an increased challenge. For example, mat roll down, then add roll down with obliques, bicep curls, then add bicep curls with squat, basic quadruped slash planks to planks with movement patterns. Oh, okay. So just like adding choreography and combined movement patterns for an increased challenge of everything above. Okay. And then at the end, cool down and lengthening. A cool down period is important to encourage exercise recovery, prevent injury, prevent dizziness, and encourage mindfulness and relaxation. Start by slowing the exercise tempo and bringing awareness to breathing. Include mobility moves and lengthening work. This can include repeated movements at slower tempos or isolated static stretching. Reformer would be Eve's lunge, mermaid, feet in straps, focus on mobility or static hold stretching, ladder barrel catalog ballet stretches, spine corrector breathing exercises, chair, standing cat, mat, standing roll down variations. Additional considerations. Okay, we keep going. In addition to the order of the class, you want to consider utilizing and incorporating various tempos. Footwork could be press out 3 counts, return in 1 count. Ranges of motion: full, partial, isometric, small pulses. Resistance: time under tension. Changing resistance can change exercise focus. Number of sets, reps, typically harder exercises and resistance, lower reps. Obviously. Closed and open chain options, progression and regressions, proprioception challenges. I'm cold. Give me my blanket. Incorporating the above concepts will aid you in addressing all the different types of muscle fibers, fast and slow twitch. The local stabilizer muscles around the joints and the core, and the mobilizer muscles in a well rounded holistic approach. Using variations also helps prevent overuse and overload injuries. Finally, they will encourage neuroplasticity, forming new neural pathways, strengthening existing connections, and adapting to new experiences, learning, and environmental changes. And the concept of focus by engaging your client's mind to be present in the moment and the movement. Okay, wait. This is very important. Like, we do this workout and it's working on our back or our legs. If our legs feel too much, we can change the springs and work our core next. Change springs to work core versus legs or arms. Okay, the science of stretching. I got a lot to read. It is exciting! Lengthen versus stretch. The elongation of muscles is one of the many benefits of Pilates exercises. This occurs in part due to the eccentric loading and control that is required to move body parts through the full ranges of motion. This creates long, lean, and strong muscles while also addressing mobility and flexibility, all without traditional static stretching. Interesting, that's fire. It creates long, lean, and strong muscles while addressing mobility and flexibility. Cool. Agonist, antagonist. Pilates exercises are effective at lengthening muscles while also strengthening, and vice versa. They often work on the principle of agonist, main mover muscle, and antagonist, opposing muscle. For example, développé works to lengthen the antagonist hamstrings by strongly contracting the agonist quadriceps. In bridging, the agonist gluteus maximus extends the hip and lengthens the antagonist hip flexors. So the hip flexors are stretching while the gluteus maximus is contracting. And while the hamstrings are stretching, we're contracting the quadriceps. Good to know. That's fire. Two things can be true at once. Dynamic stretching. While one contracts the Other stretches. Dynamic stretching is the use of controlled movements that activate. What the fuck am I reading that as a question? Dynamic stretching is the use of controlled movements that activates muscles to move joints through the full range of motion without a hold in any position. What that mean? They are used to warm up the body by decreasing synovial fluid viscosity of joints, reducing friction and increasing sliding lubrication, activating the mind-body connection and preparing the whole body for the next progression. Footwork is a dynamic stretch for the muscles and joints of the hips, knees, ankles, and feet. These are incorporated into the Pilates warm-up. Okay, let's see. What kind of footwork will help someone with hip injury versus the opposite? Static stretching should be performed during the cool down. At the end of your activity, interesting, because I do different types of stretching before and after I weightlift. So this information is about to either tell me that I've been fucking up or that I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which I'm pretty sure I've been fucking up. But let's find out. At the end of your activity, once the muscles and joints are fully warmed up, the goal is to increase flexibility. Goal of static stretching is to increase flexibility, restore normal circulation, and aid in recovery and prevention of injury. This requires holding a position by moving the muscle as far as it can go where some discomfort is felt but no pain. Then maintain that position for 30 seconds to 1 minute to overcome the stretch reflex. Reformer fitting straps straddle stretch is an example of a static stretch for the abductors and hamstrings. Adductors and hamstrings. Reformer fitting straps straddle stretch. Okay. I need to learn which ones of those are like mat. So I can do them at the gym. Because we don't have a reformer at my gym, unfortunately. Remember, even though a static stretch is held, it is not necessarily passive. For example, in his lunge, to target the hip flexor muscles and prevent the stretch from lengthening the anterior hip capsule and ligaments. There should be an active engagement of the ipsilateral glute muscle to create a posterior pelvic tilt. If this stretch is passive, the client is most likely to go into an anterior pelvic tilt and increase lumbar extension. And although they would feel it in the anterior hip, it would be contributing to laxity of the ligaments, capsule and hip joint, which once overstretched cannot be reduced. So this is warning. There should be an active engagement of the ipsilateral glute muscle to create a posterior pelvic tilt. If this stretch is passive, the client most likely go into an anterior pelvic tilt and increase lumbar extension. We don't want to do that. Ah. Oh. Gotta watch out for that. Ensure your clients do not perform ballistic stretching, bouncing at end range, or using momentum and rapidly swinging into the end ranges. Bouncing at end range, or using momentum and rapidly swinging into the end ranges. This has been shown to increase injury to the joint and soft tissue. A common place to watch for this pitfall is during footwork in the calf stretch. This should be a static held stretch, not a bouncing or ballistic stretch. Cool. Good to know. Not all injuries and healing. Okay, not all injuries, limitation, and healing times are the same. Exactly. That should be a given, but the information below is in reference to typical injuries and recovery time. Use this information as background when working with injured clients to help you build trust with your clients and understand their injuries more completely. Always be sure to work closely with an injured client to be sure that their recovery is progressing as expected and that no new injury has occurred. Muscle injuries. Muscle is contractile tissue, meaning that it can contract and relax. Muscles under our voluntary control are the essence of the brain-body connection in Pilates. Resistance training and repetitive activities produce micro tears in muscle tissue. This is a normal response. As these muscle fibers heal, hypertrophy or muscle growth occurs and the muscles become stronger. DOMS, delay onset muscle soreness. This is a normal response to micro tears, occurs within 24 to 48 hours of exercise and will usually subside on its own. Muscle strains. A muscle strain occurs when there is damage / tears of muscle fibers due to overstretch or overload. I think I overstretched my back yesterday and I'm feeling it today. Grade 1, mild severity, usually heals within 2 to 3 weeks. Grade 2, moderate damage, pain, swelling, and some loss of function, usually heals 3 to 6 weeks. Grade 3, complete tear, which may require surgery, usually 3 months to recover. God dang. I'm so glad I've never made it to grade 3. Tendon injuries. Tendons connect muscles to bone. Partial tears, pain, weakness, limited mobility. I think I injured my tendon in my wrist the other day then. Complete rupture, the tendon usually requires surgery. Oh God. Avulsion, tendon or ligament pulls off a small part of the bone, usually as a result of trauma, a sports injury, or a growth spurt, or osteoporosis. Most heal without surgery unless it involves a growth plate or if the fragment is too far from the main bone. Tendinitis, acute inflammation, tendinosis, chronic weakness and stiffness. Ligament injuries. We got muscle injuries, tendon injuries, and ligament injuries. Nerve injuries, bone injuries, joint injuries, fascial injuries. Gosh, so many types of injuries. Ligament injuries. Ligaments connect bone to bone because there is no contractile tissue connection. Once a ligament is overstretched, it does not shorten to its normal length and it produces laxity at that joint. It also increases muscle compensation at that joint to aid in stabilizing. At a joint to aid in stabilizing. Ensure that you are stretching the muscles at a joint. Ensure that you are stretching the muscles at a joint, not the ligaments. Oh my god. By keeping an active versus passive stretch. And not pushing into passive end range, especially for clients with hypermobility. I have hypermobility. I've been injuring myself this whole time. I hope my fucking ligaments are not past saving. By keeping an active versus passive stretch and not pushing into passive end range. Gosh. So glad I'm finally learning about this. Okay, ligament sprains. Sprains are caused by an overstretching or overloading of the ligaments and are generally accompanied by pain and swelling. Grade 1, mild, overstretch, 2 to 3 weeks to heal. Grade 2, moderate, partial tear with bruising. 4 to 8 weeks to heal. And grade 3, severe, complete tear or rupture and may require surgery to restore joint stability, usually intense pain and swelling, 3 months to recover. Gosh. Now we're going to go into nerve injuries. Nerves connect our brain and spinal cord to the rest of the body. Ooh. There are motor and sensory nerves. Information traveling along these neural pathways runs both directions, from our brain to our bodies, movement, and from our bodies to our brains, pain, pressure, temperature. Oh. Nerves are sensitive to both compression and stretching. Neuralgia, nerve pain, often caused by infection. Oh shit. Such as shingles, pressure, medications and injuries, and certain conditions such as diabetes and multiple sclerosis. Neuropraxia. I'm gonna have to memorize all this shit. I mean, technically I don't, but I want to because I want to be able to just be able to talk about this on the spot. You feel me? I'm gonna go to some PA and ask them about this. I wanted to do that, but I don't think I'm gonna have time before. Neuropraxia, peripheral nerve disorder, where nerve impulses can't get through the injured part. These blocked impulses cause symptoms of burning, numbness, stinging, and weakness, often temporary loss of motor and or sensory function caused by bone fractures, dislocations, ligament or tendon tears, and surgery. Neuropathy, damage of peripheral nerves, leading to weakness, numbness, and pain, particularly in the hands and feet. Diabetic neuropathy, carpal tunnel syndrome. Aww. There is also autonomic neuropathy, which is nerve damage affecting Oh, bodily organs that can lead to excessive sweating, imbalance, bladder control, and blood pressure issues. Wow. Radiculopathy, spinal nerve root compression, pinched nerve that radiates along the nerve's path, commonly caused by herniated discs or stenosis in the cervical and lumbar spine. Oh, wow. Neurodegenerative diseases. Neurodegenerative diseases. Parkinson's disease, brain protein accumulation mostly affecting movement. Alzheimer's disease, brain protein accumulation mostly affecting communication, behavior, and personality. Wow, I didn't know it affected personality too. Guillain-Barré syndrome, autoimmune disorder affecting the peripheral nervous system. Multiple sclerosis, autoimmune disorder affecting the central nervous system. MS. Oh, I've seen ads for drugs for that. Multiple sclerosis, autoimmune disorder affecting the central nervous system. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, affecting the central nervous system's connection with the motor neurons of voluntary movement. Damn. Can this be healed? Bone injuries. Bone is a dynamic tissue that provides mechanical support, body organ protection, and physiological homeostasis. Bone is highly vascularized, good blood flow, with a high potential for self healing unless there is a large gap. Fractures, broken bone, usually due to trauma, 6 to 8 weeks to heal. Stress fracture, small crack, incomplete or complete break, caused by repetitive activity, usually in the lower leg and foot, 6 to 8 weeks to heal. Bone bruise / contusion due to trauma or sports, deep ache, throbbing. Osteopenia, osteoporosis, spurs, growth of extra bone that takes up space, may compress adjacent structures. Whoa, that's crazy. Inflammatory conditions, infection, repetitive strain, autoimmune, and tumors. You can get a tumor in your bone. Oh my god. An infection as well. That's scary to think about. Like when I was learning about anatomy, and I'm still am, but for this course, I'm also taking an anatomy course. Learning about the body kind of creeps me out because I imagine it not being healthy, and that's scary. Joint injuries, dislocations, complete joint separation. That's what I had. Usually due to forceful trauma, which can then become chronic due to the instability created. Damn it. Subluxations, partial dislocation can still cause pain, swelling, and instability. Often happens in a joint that has had a prior dislocation. Of note, the most recent literature does not support the vertebral bones of the spine subluxing. Instead, subluxation has a clear anatomical and biomechanical basis as an incomplete or partial dislocation in a non-vertebral joint. Degenerative and traumatic tears of the cartilage, meniscus and or labrum of the hip or shoulder. Okay, we're onto something here. I might be able to use this for my assignment. cartilage, meniscus and or labrum of the hip or shoulder. Arthritis, degenerative osteoarthritis, OA, autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis, RA, and inflammatory gout. Gout? I studied this, I just can't remember it off the top of my head right now. Fascial injuries. This is the last injury that you can get. So just to recap, you can get a muscle injury, a tendon injury, a ligament injury, a nerve injury, a bone injury, a joint injury, and a fascial injury. And I'm about to find out which one could be which. Fascial injuries. Researchers are still working on a clear scientific definition of fascia. At this time, we understand that there are many layers of fascia that are connected and continuous. The fascia is a sheath of specialized connective tissue made up of collagen that envelops every muscle, tendon, ligament, bone, nerve, vessel, and organ in your body. It provides structure, support, and force transmission, and aids in movement by increasing glide and slide between these structures. Fascia influences not only movement but also emotions and may contribute to the chronic nature of some of the following. Wow, fascia influences movement and emotions. That's crazy. Myofascial pain syndrome. Pain and tenderness in specific areas that are highly sensitive. Pain can refer to other areas. Fascia also plays a significant role in chronic pain due to its network of sensory nerve endings. Although fibromyalgia is similar, it encompasses widespread bilateral upper and lower areas of the body. Chronic fatigue. When fascia becomes fibrotic, stiff, body movements will be difficult and uncoordinated, and it will produce increased metabolites, which are all recorded by the central nervous system as fatigue. Oh my gosh. And it can affect your mental health, of course, and your mental health can affect the physical as well. Frozen shoulder, also called adhesive capsulitis, a painful condition in which the shoulder joints becomes limited due in part to the fascia surrounding the shoulder joint becoming thick, stiff, and inflamed. Compartment syndrome, painful pressure in and around the muscles, usually of the lower leg, due to increased blood flow to muscles during exercise. The fascia surrounding these muscles won't expand to allow for this increased blood volume, which puts painful pressure on the muscles and nerves. This can resolve if activity is stopped and the affected part is elevated. Oh, this can resolve if activity is stopped and the affected part is elevated. So the blood goes down. So blood goes to center of body instead of legs. Can compression socks help? Okay. If it's severe, requires a surgical fasciotomy to release the tight fascia. Plantar fasciitis. Study all the diseases. Inflammation of and pain in the thick band of fascia that stretches from your heel to your toes. The plantar fascia supports the arc during weight bearing, absorbs shock, and transmits force during the gait cycles heel strike to toe off. Okay, so now we got type, acute or chronic. History, cause, symptoms, onset, duration, examples. History, occurred recently. Long, chronic, long-standing condition. The cause, generally the result of a traumatic event or overuse event. Weekend warrior, a day of gardening, planting. Chronic, possibly the result of overuse or a condition that never fully healed. Symptoms, usually isolated. If it's acute, if it's chronic, generally more subtle or vague. Oh, onset, if it's acute, is rapid onset. Chronic develops slower. Duration, it's a limited duration if it's acute, it's a long duration if it's chronic. Examples, muscle strains, pulls, ligament sprains, fracture or dislocation. Chronic is tendinosis, tendinitis, bursitis, and arthritis. Okay. Interesting. Now we're gonna talk about pain. Pain is an unpleasant sensory. Let's drink some water. Pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience arising from actual or potential tissue damage, or described in terms such as the damage. As a Pilates instructor, it is important for you to understand both the physical especially chronic pain. You'll likely be working with clients who have experienced chronic pain or are currently in chronic pain. Empathy and careful discussion of the client's experience is vital. Note that recovering from injuries and pain is not generally an automatic response. Many times clients need to be taught how to activate the affected muscles and reestablish the brain. Recovering from injuries and pain is not an automatic response. Many times clients need to be taught how to activate the affected muscles and reestablish the brain-body connection. They just need to connect to their body. For the low back especially, clients need to be taught and cued to activate their deep stabilizers, stability before mobility, or the pain will likely return. Stability before mobility. Stability before mobility. Consequences of pain. Below is a list of the potential consequences of pain on the body. Keep in mind that chronic pain also has an impact on emotional and psychological health. Below is a list of the potential consequences of pain on the body. Keep in mind that chronic... Okay, I already read that. Global muscles compensate by guarding as a protective response, which can lead to muscle spasms. Oh, wow. Wow. Global muscles compensate by guarding as a protective response. Which can lead to muscle spasms. Local stabilizers develop a fascic. Wait. These homeless. Okay. Wow, I think that's happening to my back right now. Global muscles compensate by guarding as a protective response. Local stabilizers develop a phasic or non-continuous postural response and a decreased tonic or endurance response. Postural muscles likely become inhibited and cannot stay on as long as needed. I don't even know what that means. Let me read again. Local stabilizers develop a phasic or non-continuous postural response and a decreased tonic or endurance response. Postural muscles likely become inhibited and cannot stay on as long as needed. Is that for like bad posture? Does that cause bad posture? Posture. I think I understood that right. I'm not sure. Alright, that little piece of lid is still there. Whatever. Inhibition of the deep local stabilizers or intrinsic muscles of a joint creates local instability and decreased protection of the joint, increasing the risk of furthering injury and pain. So if you have inhibition of the deep local stabilizers or intrinsic muscles of a joint, it creates a local instability and decreased protection of the joint, increasing the risk of further injury and pain. That makes sense. Study shows that normal activation of the transversus abdominis muscle begins 30 to 110 seconds before the movement starts or with a chance to force. In contrast, study shows delayed muscle contraction of the transversus abdominis with upper extremity movement in subjects with low back pain. That makes sense, because if you're not engaging your core before you do some movement with your upper body back, your lower back ain't stable, so it's gonna cause injury if you're using it without stability. Stability before mobility. That's what we're getting out of this reading today. Wow. In contrast, study shows delayed muscle contraction of the TA with upper extremity movement in subjects with low back pain. Altered muscle recruitment sequency. Altered muscle recruitment sequency and compensation is primarily seen in the global muscle system, where, for example, when extending the hip, the hamstrings activate before the gluteus maximus. Gotta activate them glutes! For example, when extending the hip, the hamstrings activate before the gluteus maximus. Oh my god, that's for my, I'm gonna need that. Decreased proprioception, perception of movement and spatial orientation of self and parts of the body. Decreased proprioception, the perception of movement and spatial orientation of self and parts of the body. You don't have a perception of what your body's doing. It also causes anxiety. I think I have decreased perception of movement. Ooh, that's not good. Depression, anxiety, reduced sleep, fatigue, yes. Fear avoidance behavior. Substance abuse. That makes sense. Changes in work status, family roles and responsibilities, and social engagement. The invisibility of chronic pain can be isolating, especially when the outward appearance remains the same. Wow. Facts. Yeah, that's true. Literally, when I broke my hand, nobody believed me because I wasn't even crying. I felt isolated. And every time I'm injured, people are like, you look fine. Like, when I overdosed and I was in the hospital, this guy kept trying to get me to get up from the bed and I couldn't even move. Just because I looked normal doesn't mean I was normal. or feeling normal, and it was so crazy and pathetic, but whatever, because I was in the ER. But anyways, effects of exercise on mental and emotional health and well-being. Yes, something good. Not saying that. Well, yeah, we're hearing about injuries and pain. It's good to know about it, to prevent it, to help heal it, to aid it. But it's sad to think about because I've been injured so many times because I got hypermobility in my entire body. Nobody ever told me that. And I've done sports my whole life. I didn't have correct form. I wasn't connecting my brain with my body while doing these exercises. I was putting loud music in my ears and just trying to get rid of energy because I had anxiety and trying to get strong fast. But like constantly getting injured doesn't aid my progress. Like it's also I've been very impatient with like wanting to be stronger, that I overwork my body and then I get injured, and then the time that I'm healing from that, I lose all the muscle gain that I even got, if any. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's good to do things right. It's good to educate yourself. Like, I'm not just doing this because I'm passionate about this and I want to be a coach and make good money while doing something I love. I also need to know this for myself and for everybody around me. Like, I want to be able to help people, um, not get injured, dude. A lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people can't afford Pilates. A lot of people can't afford this knowledge. So yeah, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos about Pilates the more I learn and when I become certified, to give people free access to this information. Within what I'm allowed to say, because I'm not a doctor. Effects of exercise on mental health and emotional health and well being. Exercise is now being prescribed as medicine for many disorders. Exercise is medicine. Releases feel good chemicals in the brain, boosts self esteem, improves concentration and sleep, improves circulation, warming up joints, fascia, and muscles, and brings fresh oxygen to all structures while removing metabolic waste products. Reduces tension, stress, and fatigue. Improves and regulates appetite. Yes, it does. Pilates does not typically overheat. Overheating can negatively impact. Oh, my mom did tell me that yesterday. I didn't want to listen to her. Overheating can negatively impact anxiety, panic, MS, pregnancy. Wow. Builds community. Clients are seen, known, and accepted. The principle of breath decreases the sympathetic nervous system response, fight, flight, or freeze, while increasing the parasympathetic nervous system response, calm, control, rest, and digest. Pilates instructors should be inclusive, kind, and encouraging, working to make Pilates accessible to each client. Be the best hour of their day. Gengi! Okay, so let me see. I read all that. Spine, slings, special population, and then spine again, and then hip. So I should read all the way to special populations. Uh, 8 more pages. Spine. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna read the special populations part and then the hip thing I'm working on so I can think about it because I want to take a nap and then read the in between of that. And then do some research. Special populations. The following sections will address specific injuries, diagnosis, limitations, and dysfunctions grouped by body areas. These pages will also include information on precautions, proceed slowly, contraindications, avoid, and modifications and examples of Pilates programming to include. Important notes, do's and don'ts. The priority is always safety. Do not harm. Keep good, ongoing communication with clients regarding symptoms. Ask about their contraindications and painful movements, and choose exercises appropriately. Modify with short versus long levers, resistance, range of motion, props, and positions. I could use this. Many will not have a specific diagnosis, but they will be able to show you where it hurts and tell you where it hurts, so pay attention. Do not diagnose, offer advice or nutrition or medicines, or offer rehab services. Don't assume they can or cannot do something, as each person presents uniquely, and the following serves as a general guide. As each person presents uniquely, and then following serves as a general guide. For example, some clients cannot kneel after knee replacement, some can with no problems, and others can yet but are getting more comfortable with kneeling. If in doubt, communicate with the client or healthcare provider. Cool. Now, hip, 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 hip. Scoliosis. I have a little bit of that, so I'll read about that later. Hip. Anatomy overview. Okay, so we got the pubic bone, acetabulum, femoral head, greater trochanter, femur, joint cavity, joint capsule, lesser trochanter, aces, ilium, worn cartilage, narrow joint space, femur, rough bone. Okay. Osteo is the wear and tear of a joint. Osteo. Now we're reading about the snapping hip syndrome. Snapping hip syndrome is characterized by an audible or palpable snap, catching sensation when the hip moves from flexion to extension. This condition may or may not be painful. If pain is present, it may be due to inflammation and or bursitis. There are two locations of the syndrome that are outside of the coxofemoral joint or hip, called extra-articular, and one that is inside the SFJ called intra-articular. Extra-articular is more common and is also called dancer's hip. Extra-articular on the outside of the synovial joint capsule, two types. tensor fasciae latae, iliatal band. Okay. Extra